Text number 1 and 2. Shri Sukhamdasa Ekatapisadanishu Yasidananda Gini Karmantarani Yaktashu Nirmananta Salandani Yani Yani Hagitani Taparajaritancha Dadini Matanikani Smarantita Time Agayata. Translation. Sri Sukadeva Swami Swami continued. One day when Mother Yashoda saw that all the maid servants were engaged in the household affairs, she personally began to chant the yogurt. While chanting, she remembered the childish activities of Krishna. In her own way, she composed songs and enjoyed singing to herself about all those activities. Text number 3. Dressed in a saffron yellow sari with a belt tied about her full hips, Mother Yashoda pulled on the chaining rope, laboring considerable, her bangles and earrings moving and vibrating, and her whole body shaking. Because of her intense love for her child, her breasts were wet with milk. Her face, with its very beautiful eyebrows, was wet with perspiration, and malati flowers were falling down from her hair. While Mother Yashoda was chanting the bhatta, Lord Krishna, desiring to drink the milk of her breast, appeared before her, and in order to increase her transcendental pleasure, caught hold of the chaining rod and began to prevent her from chaining. Mother Yashoda then embraced Krishna, allowed him to sit down on her lap, and began to look upon the face of the Lord with great love and affection. Because of her intense affection, milk was flowing from her breast. But when she saw that the milk can on the oven was boiling over, she immediately left her son to take care of the overflowing milk, although the child was not yet fully satisfied with drinking the milk of his mother's breast. Text number 6. Being very angry and biting his reddish lips with his teeth, Krishna, with false tears in his eyes, broke the container of yogurt with a piece of stone. Then he entered a room and began to eat the freshly changed butter in a solitary place. Text number 7. Mother Yashoda, after taking down the hot milk from the oven, returned to the churning spot. And when she saw that the container of yogurt was broken and that Krishna was not present, she concluded that the breaking of the pot was the work of Krishna. Krishna at that time was sitting on an upside down wooden mortar for grinding spices, and was distributing milk preparations such as yogurt and butter to the monkeys as he liked. Because of having stolen, he was looking around with great anxiety, suspecting that he might be chastised by his mother. Mother Yashoda, upon seeing him very cautiously approached him from behind. When Lord Sri Krishna saw his mother's stick in hand, he very quickly got down from the top of the mortar and began to flee as if very much afraid. Although yogis tried to capture him as Paramatma by meditation, desiring to enter into the effulgence of the Lord with great austerities and penances, they failed to reach him. But Maria Soda, thinking that same personality of Godhead, Krishna, to be her son, began following Krishna to catch him. While following Krishna, Maria Soda, with her thin waist overburdened by her heavy breast, naturally had to reduce her speed. Because of following Krishna very swiftly, her hair became loose, and the flowers in her hair were falling after her. Yet she did not fail to capture Krishna. When caught by Maria Soda, Krishna became more and more afraid and admitted to being an offender. As she looked upon him, she saw that he was crying. His tears mixed with black ointment around his eyes, and as he rubbed his eyes with his hands, he smeared the ointment all over his face. Maria Soda, catching her beautiful son by the hand, mildly chastised him. Maria Soda was always overwhelmed by intense love for Krishna, not knowing who Krishna was and how powerful he was. Because of material affection for Krishna, she never even cared to know who he was. Therefore, when she saw that her son had become excessively afraid, she threw the stick away and desired to bind him so that he would not commit any further naughty activities. The Supreme Personality of Godhead has no beginning and no end, no exterior and no interior, no front and no rear. In other words, he is all-pervading because he is not under the influence of the element of time. For him, there is no difference between past, present, and future. He exists in his own transcendental form at all times. Being absolute beyond relativity, he is free from distinction between cause and effect. Although he is the cause of effect of everything, that unmanifested person who is beyond the perception of the senses had now appeared as a human child, and Maria Soda, considering him her own ordinary child, bound him to the wooden grinding mortar with a rope. When Maria Soda was trying to bind the offending child, she saw that the binding rope was short and by a distance with width of 2 fingers. Thus, she thought another rope to join it. Thus, Maria Soda joined whatever ropes were available in household, but still she failed in her attempt to bind Krishna. Maria Soda's friends, the elderly gopis in the neighborhood, were smiling and enjoying the fun. Similarly, Maria Soda, although laboring in that way, was also smiling, and all of them were struck with wonder. Okay, we'll read just one backwards. We'll read purport to text number 3. Proverb says, anyone who desires to be Krishna conscious in motherly affection or parental affection should contemplate the bodily features of Mother Yasoda. It is not that one should desire to become like Yashoda, for this is Mayavada. Either in a parental affection or conjugal love, friendship or servitorship, in any way, we must follow in the footsteps of the inhabitants of Vrindavan, not try to become like them. Therefore, this description is provided here. Advanced devotees must cherish this description, always thinking of Mother Yashoda's features, how she was dressed, how she was working and perspiring, how beautifully the flowers were arranged in her hair, and so on. One should take advantage of the whole description provided here by thinking of Mother Yasoda in maternal affection for Krishna. Jai Shri Damodar Stika Ki, Krishna Bhagavan Ki. So this is a very beautiful description. And Mother Yasoda perspiring, trying to run after a small boy who had committed the crime of breaking the pots of yogurt and taking the yogurt and feeding it to the monkeys. So this is like a drama. Sometimes we experience this. Of course, nowadays, boys are not that naughty. I grew up with boys who were naughty like Krishna. In our time, there was milk, or we could say, I think it's still there, condensed milk. It used to come in tins. And those days, people couldn't afford fresh milk. Like nowadays, everyone has a fridge, everyone has fresh milk. In the old days, most people used condensed milk for the tea. So I had one cousin who was good at stealing it, like Krishna. So once he was staying with some relatives, and in that house there was a blind nanny. So this boy, when he was drinking the yogurt, then this nanny would suspect something is happening. Say, hey, where are you? What are you doing? He couldn't say. He said, oh, nanny, I'm just drinking water. So in that way, so Krishna also was the type of naughty boy, always stealing something. But Krishna's stealing is not like our stealing. It doesn't cause distress. It is always the source of bliss. And we see here that Mother Yasoda, even though Mother Yasoda was upset, but when the ladies started laughing at the stealing of Krishna, she was also stealing. And therefore, as the song says, that Sri Krishna Bhagavan, with his pastimes, he drowns all the residents of Vrindavan in pools of ecstasy. And Prabhupada here he says that if we want to experience this ras, Vatsala ras, parental affection, like Mother Yasoda, we can meditate on how she was dressed, how she was perspiring, how she ran after Krishna. And then one thing that is important also is that when she finally caught hold of Krishna and tried to bind him, so it's called Damoda. One is bound with a rope by his mother around the belly. The rope was 2 fingers short, and she went around looking for more rope, but still the ropes were 2 fingers short. So 2 fingers represents Mother Yashoda's effort to capture Krishna, and then the other, one represents her effort to capture Krishna, and then the other one represents Krishna's mercy. Only by Krishna's mercy we can capture Krishna. But if he's not pleased with us, we can run and run and run, but we can't capture him. So it is said that when Krishna saw Mother Yashoda's perspiration and his heavy breathing, and he said, okay, let her capture me. And then another point in this story is that we see, when we go back, that Mother Yashoda was busy in the kitchen making so many preparations herself. And one of the preparations was the milk. So Krishna was eating a Janmashtami feast every day. He was not just eating khichdi. There's another temple in East Africa where people offer Krishna khichdi every day in the morning. I asked them, who told you Krishna liked khichdi? Krishna, he is eating sandesh, rasmalai, he eats barfi, he is eating kachori, samosa every day, he eats fresh maca. Khichdi is for us. Anyway, he accepted out of his mercy. So every day, Mother Yashoda was making not just khichdi. They were making many nice preparations. She had servants. She could have easily hired a catering company to cook for Krishna. But she decided to do the cooking herself out of love and devotion. So this is Mother Yashoda's mode. And then when Krishna was a big boy at that time, he was not baby. But out of affection, he asked for the breast milk. And Mother Yashoda obliged. He didn't need breast milk. He was working and running at the time. A baby cannot break the pots of yogurt. But out of affection, he wanted to have breast milk while Mother Yashoda was preparing his lunch. So Mother Yashoda, in this story, she made one mistake. When she saw that the milk was overflowing from the pot in the kitchen, she took her breast out from Krishna's mouth and she rushed to the kitchen. And Krishna became very upset. And she became very angry. And she looked around. Because when he first came, she was churning the yogurt. And then he brought the yogurt out of anger. So the point is that we can learn from this story The lesson that we can learn from this story is that sometimes there will be many duties which are, of course, for devotional service to Krishna. But we should not leave Krishna like Mother Yasoda and run to the milk. Let that milk attend to itself. When we have Krishna, we should not leave Krishna. Because ultimately, that milk was meant to please Krishna. And everything else in the house was meant to please Krishna. So Krishna is the source of our devotion. When Krishna is there, why run for the milk? So that's why Krishna got angry. So in our life, we should understand this point, that Krishna is the ultimate goal of all our activities. So when we have the opportunity to serve Him directly, we should not consider anything else to be urgent or very important. Just like many years ago when Prabhupada was on the planet, there was one devotee, Harisori Prabhu, was telling Prabhupada, to be a servant of a guru, I have experienced this also. You don't just serve the guru, disciples also demand so many things from you. They'll ask you to give this to the guru, to give this message to the guru. They'll be waiting for you to return with messages. You become a messenger of everyone around the world. So Harisori Prabhu became overloaded with the services that he was getting from Prabhupada's disciples. He couldn't serve Prabhupada properly. So he went to Prabhupada and said, Prabhupada, I'm your servant, but I have so many other devotees who are demanding service from me. And Prabhupada said, we have to choose who is your master. And just serve that person who is your master. Otherwise, you can't have so many masters. And Harikesh Prabhu was relieved. Once we are serving Prabhupada, and so many disciples are demanding that we serve them, but actually his duty was to serve Prabhupada. So in a similar way, when Krishna is present, there is no need for rushing to any urgent service for Krishna and leave Krishna unattended. This is the point. So Mother Yasoda made this mistake of leaving Krishna and attended to the milk. And then when she came back, Krishna had caused chaos. Of course, this is the Leela. So Krishna, when he comes to the earth, he performs two types of Leelas. One is called Nitya Leela, which is these are the Leelas that he performs every day with his devotees. And then there are some Leelas called Namitika Leelas. When he kills the demons, or when he chastises some demigods, those Leelas are occasional. They are not daily pastimes. But this particular pastime, Damodar pastime, is Nitya Leela. It happens all the time. It's happening again and again and again and again. But most of the time we cannot see it. These pastimes are taking place in Braj. Now this particular pastime happened in Mahavan. In Vrindavan, there are 12 forests of Braj. On the eastern side, there are forests like Lokavan, Pandiravan, Bhadravan, the biggest one is called Mahavan. And then on the western side of the Jamuna, there are many forests also. There is Madhuvan, Bahulavan, Dalavan, Vrindavan, but the biggest forest on that side is called Kamelvan. So first Krishna performed his pastimes in Mahavan, and then after 3 years, he moved to Kamelvan. So this Damodar pastime happened in Nanda Bhavan in Mahavan. Before this Lila, Krishna had shown, some boys accused Krishna of eating earth, eating mud, which all kids in a village know how to do. When we were kids, I remember, when we were children, we wanted to experiment with everything. Eating earth, I've done that myself. Sometimes even so, bathroom soap, how it tastes like we used to do it. And what else? Even cooking oil, we will test it. Because that stage is called Annamoy. Anna means food. A child is food conscious. Whatever a child gets goes to the mouth. So these boys, the coward boys also, they saw Krishna doing that, experimenting with mud. And I went and told Mother Yashoda, and Mother Yashoda said, okay, if you did not eat any dirt, open your mouth. And then within the mouth, Mother Yashoda saw the entire universe. He saw all the residents of Raj, including herself. She fainted. So then after that, Krishna performed this pastime at the same place, Nanda Bhavan in Gokul. So in Gokul, Krishna is Bal Gopal, his baby Gopal, but he's very naughty. And his naughtiness is very pleasing to the Gopas and the Gopis of Vrindavan. So therefore, Prabhupada is advising us in this purport that we should, he says, anyone who desires to be Krishna conscious in motherly affection, parental affection, should contemplate the bodily features of Mother Yashoda. It is not that one should desire to become Mother Yashoda, like Yashoda, but this is Mayavada. Either in parental or conjugal love, friendship or servitorship. In any way, we must follow in the footsteps of the inhabitants of Vrindavan, not try to become like them. So therefore, Srila Prabhupada has given us a hint as to how to become Krishna conscious by following the residents of Vrindavan. Jai Shri Krishna Bhagavan ki, Jai Shri Radha Damodar ki. Okay, we will stop.